I never thought a simple movie night could turn into something so dangerous. Not the kind of danger you see in thrillers with masked men and broken windows. No, this was the kind of danger that creeps into your life quietly, wearing a friendly smile, acting harmless, until suddenly your entire marriage is shaking on the edge of destruction. It all started on a calm, Friday evening in our quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio. My husband, Daniel, had just returned from another exhausting week at work. He's a financial consultant, always stressed, always tired. I, Emily Carter, had just finished cleaning up after dinner, leftover pasta and garlic bread. Life was normal, maybe a little too normal. That's when he showed up, Jason Miller, our new neighbor who had moved in a few months back with his wife, Claire. Claire was a flight attendant, always traveling. Jason, a charming, fit, 35-year-old real estate agent with a smile that looked too confident, too practiced. He waved from our fence, holding a bowl of popcorn like some movie character straight out of a commercial. "Hey, Emily. Hey, Daniel. We're watching a new thriller tonight in our home theater setup. You guys want to join?" Daniel hesitated. He was tired. But Jason's charm was magnetic. And before I could think logically, I said, "Sure, why not? It sounds fun." That small yes changed everything. Jason's house looked warm and cozy inside, with dim lights and a modern setup. A huge TV mounted on the wall, couch-styled like something you'd see on Pinterest. Claire wasn't home. On a flight to San Diego, Jason said casually. Daniel sat on one side of the couch, already half asleep. Jason sat in the middle, leaving space beside him. I hesitated for a moment, then sat down. The movie started. Some suspense drama about betrayal and lies. Ironic now that I think of it. As the movie played, Jason leaned slightly toward me whenever something intense happened. Just close enough that I could feel his presence. Daniel didn't notice. He was zoning out, checking emails on his phone. At first, I brushed off the strange tension. I told myself it's just a neighbor. You're overthinking. But then, it happened. A jump scare flashed on screen, and Jason lightly touched my hand. "Scared?" he whispered with a smirk. I froze. It wasn't the touch itself. It was the intent. I could feel it. Something wasn't right. I gently pulled my hand away, pretending I needed to grab my drink. He just smiled, like he knew I felt it too. After the movie, Daniel stood up, stretching and yawning. "Good movie," he said. "Let's do it again sometime." Jason looked straight at me when he replied, "Definitely. Maybe next time, just the two of us who actually watched the movie." My heart skipped. Was he serious? Was he testing me? I forced a small laugh and walked out before the moment got weirder. That night, lying beside Daniel as he slept peacefully, I couldn't shake the memory of Jason's eyes watching me, studying me, as if waiting for me to break. The next day, Jason texted me, "Had fun last night. Maybe we should do a one-on-one movie session sometime." Daniel seemed stressed. Let him rest next time. I just stared at the message. Where did he even get my number? Then I remembered. The neighborhood group chat. I typed back, "Not appropriate. I'm married." He replied instantly, "I know, just friendly." But there was nothing friendly about it. I didn't tell Daniel. Why? Maybe I didn't want drama. Maybe I thought it would end. Maybe, deep down, I was afraid of admitting something dangerous had been invited into my life. 2 weeks passed. I avoided Jason, didn't respond to texts, barely even waved when he was outside. But temptation, danger, they don't walk away. They wait. One evening, Daniel had to leave for a business trip in Chicago. I was alone. Around 9 p.m., a knock came at the door. I opened it to see Jason, standing there with that same confident smile, holding a DVD in his hand and 2 cups of iced coffee. "Relax," he laughed. "Not here to cross lines. Just thought you might want company since Daniel's away. Movie night? In my living room. Doors open, lights on. No funny business." He sounded casual, safe. I almost said no. But loneliness can be a heavy thing. Daniel had been distant lately. We barely talked anymore. I told myself I was just being neighborly. So I agreed. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. For the first 20 minutes, everything was normal. We talked about houses, work, Daniel's job, Claire's travels. Then the power flickered. The room dimmed slightly. I felt uneasy. Jason turned to me and said quietly, "You know, you deserve someone who notices you more. Someone who sees how special you are." I stared at him, heart pounding. "Jason, stop." He moved a little closer. Not too close, but close enough to feel his presence again. I'm not saying we should do anything, but pretending your marriage is perfect, that's the real lie. My breath caught. Was I that obvious? He noticed my silence and misread it. Jason slowly reached for my hand. In that moment, I should have walked away. I should have yelled. I should have reminded him and myself of who I was. But I didn't move. Not because I wanted him, but because I suddenly realized how broken I had been feeling, how empty, how unnoticed. And Jason? He saw that weakness like a hunter sees a wounded animal. But then, ding-dong! The doorbell rang sharply. Jason froze. I pulled my hand back instantly. Through the glass beside the door, I could see a familiar figure. My husband. Daniel? He wasn't supposed to be home until tomorrow. My heart felt like it exploded inside my chest. Jason looked at me with wide eyes. What do we do? Daniel knocked again. Harder this time. Panic flooded through me. I stood up, shaking, my mind racing. And suddenly I realized this wasn't just about Jason anymore. This was about whether I was about to lose everything. Please comment part 2 and subscribe.